here. It's Tuesday after school. It's about 3 o'clock. It's January 16th, I think. Oh my God. And I have a union meeting in about 15 minutes. But I wanted to share with you, obviously because I vlog, but I wanted to share with you what I did today because this was something new I tried. I had never done it before, and when I was planning it yesterday, I had like, I don't know if anxiety is the right word, I just wasn't sure how it would turn out because I've never done it before. So basically, it's the day after Martin Luther King Day and we observe it. There's no school, and I feel like every year I try and find ways to like make that day relevant to current students. So when I was introducing the activity for the day, I told my class, I said, you know, I tried to think of a way to make it relevant to you guys every year. I do know that they know who Martin Luther King is, and everybody knows that he gave a I Have a Dream speech, and they generally understand that he fought for equal treatment for Black people. But I want them to know that it was really about civil rights, and it just so happened that the focus was on Black people at the time because they were having many civil rights violated. So, I said, with that being said, I wanted to find a way to like make the civil rights movement relevant to them today, because they are not living in a segregated society. Where they are growing up is pretty diverse and integrated. That's not to say everything is perfect, but by no means is it like it was back in the day when Martin Luther King was alive. So yesterday I was trying to figure out what would be like a civil rights issue, or the closest I can get to that for students, like middle school students, that would be relevant to them. What I really wanted to do was talk about like the rights of transgendered students and the LGBTQIA plus community on school campuses, but I'm not trying to get fired. I do need my job, and that's such a hot button issue. So what I decided to do was focus on dress code. So I made some Canva slides really quickly, and what I decided I was going to do was I was going to have them do a structured debate on whether or not school districts should be able to enforce a dress code. And so in the intro I said that is one of the issues that you guys face that could be tied to people feeling like to some degree a civil right is being violated. And before I went into the details of the debate, I did talk about the difference between human rights versus civil rights. Human rights are rights that people should just have by inherently being alive and walking the earth, whereas civil rights are rights given to people by the government. And I said to some degree dress code could fall under that because school districts, if we're dealing with public schools, are run by the state, and the state a lot of times is given guidance by the national government, and so we decided, or I decided, they would focus on dress code. So I showed them the slides, and I'm trying to find the slides for you guys. Here it is. So, and I tried to find slides that looked like it was about clothing and all that. This is the best I could do. I looked up fashion on Canva and chose these. So the first slide, we talk about the difference between human rights versus civil rights. Then I showed them the question they would be debating. I also gave them a copy of the district's dress code, so they had it for their reference. And then I gave them the format. Basically, there's going to be two sides. They debate within a group of 4. If you've never done a structured debate before, it's a pair versus a pair. Sometimes they're assigned the side. This time I let them rock, paper, scissor it out. And one side was pro dress code, like yes, we should have dress codes, or dress codes should be enforced. The other side was con, no, dress code should not be enforced. And so I gave them 15 minutes to prepare their argument using the dress code that I provided. They could Google information. None of them really needed to do that. And so they got the 15 minutes to prepare. Then after the 15 minutes, the pro side presented first. And the rule is each person in the pair has to speak for 1 minute during the presentation phase. The opposing team is just listening and taking notes, so they may not interject while the one side is presenting. And then after each partner presents for 1 minute, after the 2 minutes is up, then the opposing side has to summarize the points that were made. And then the roles are swapped. The side that was doing the listening and note taking is now presenting, and the side that was presenting is now doing the listening and note taking. Then I give them a couple of minutes to come up with a closing argument, remind them that this should be their strongest points, their last little say, their last push to convince the other side. Then they present their closing argument for a minute, and then they get a chance to do some consensus building. And when they're in the consensus building segment, this is when they're no longer assigned to represent a particular viewpoint. They're allowed to kind of say, they're allowed to say what they truly feel. And so then they come to a consensus, and then we share out. Taylor's leaving at 3 o'clock. Then we share out, and then as a class discuss, like, well, why were you pro? If you're pro dress code, why were you con? Not surprisingly, every group except for one between the two classes, so out of a total of 14 groups, only one group was pro dress code, and they were more like saying, we're pro dress code but with modifications. Like, we get that there's safety issues and all of that, so maybe things need to be outlined to keep kids safe, but for the most part, everybody was like, I want to wear what I want to wear, when I want to wear it, how I want to wear it. And so then after that, we talked, I made the point of, like, we did this to show you that although Martin Luther King has died and a lot of civil rights have been gained over the decades, the question of civil rights being violated is never a dead issue. There's always going to be a group of people or someone somewhere that feels like at some point a civil right is being violated for them individually or maybe as a group. And then also pointed out, although human rights seem logical, like everyone should have this right, there are human rights being violated all the time. So we tied it together that way. And then at the very end, I showed them a website, the ALCU website, just so they could see some of the issues that are considered civil rights issues for students. So I said, this is just for your reference if you want to go on there and see for yourself. So I gave them a list of some of the common issues or some current issues. First one being, do I have First Amendment rights in school? Can my school tell me what I can and cannot wear based on my gender? Can my school discipline me for participating in a walkout? What do I do if I'm confronted by police at my school? The rights of immigrant students, the rights of students with disabilities, LGBTQ student rights, and the rights of pregnant students. So I just shared that with them and said, if you want to look at it, you can. If not, I just dropped my rubber duck. If not, you don't have to. So I thought it went really well. I'm glad I just jumped in there and said, let's try it. And that was it. There's another part to it that I'll talk about tomorrow. I just can't talk about it now because I have a meeting and I kind of need to wait till tomorrow to discuss it. But that's what we did today. I felt more energized today. That's good. I didn't feel as burnt out. I do think that has a lot to do with the fact that I did force myself to wake up this morning and work out. Last week, I worked out on Monday and then not again until Saturday and Sunday. Just because when that alarm goes off, it is very hard for me to get out of the bed right now when it's dark outside. And so last night, when I was saying my prayers before I went to bed, I literally had to pray that God gave me the discipline to get myself up and out of the bed this morning because I know I need it. I know it makes me feel better. So when that alarm went off, I was like, let's get up and get it done. And I felt better. And I think that has a lot to do with the day feeling like it went better. So I'm about to jump into this union meeting right now. And speaking of union, I don't know if I mentioned this. I know well, a while ago, but we were just asked not too long ago to give indication of what we would prefer to teach for next year, like what grade level, what are we willing to do. And I did officially say I'm no longer willing to teach the RSP cluster, and reminded them that per our teaching contract, I have put in my 2 years, my 2 consecutive years, like they can have a teacher teach RSP even if they don't request it for 2 years. And I've done more than my 2 years. So I'm feeling good in that sense. I don't know if they're still gonna try and put me in there, but I feel like I made my stance pretty clear and I think it's fair. I do a lot on this campus in addition to RSP. And I also said that I need a break. Like I just need a break. So I'm gonna go into the union meeting to see if there's any issues that we need to be concerned or that I need to share with the teachers at my site. And then I'm gonna go home. I ordered some pants from Old Navy that I need to pick up, and another order from Ann Taylor Loft came in because they were having a really good sale that I couldn't pass up. So I'll probably show you those things when I get home. So I'll see you later. Okay, now the pro side. You have up to a minute. This time you don't have to speak for a whole minute. It may not take you a minute to restate, but you're gonna take the next minute to restate to the con side. This is what we heard you say. Con side, if they misinterpreted something, misunderstood, you're gonna clarify for them. Got it? Okay, yes. The third person who's doing, you're gonna be doing the closing arguments, which is the next round. Okay, so you got 1 minute, go. It is, I don't know, probably 5, close to 5. I'm walking Woofy. My union meeting took probably about an hour and 15 minutes. And in that meeting, I got some information or a response to, we call them site concerns, but this was really a concern that affected teachers at multiple different sites. It's those of us that are involved in the equity committee that I'm on, where we go to these meetings, we get materials that we're going to present at our staff meetings. And basically what we were asking for is for our work, the preparation that it takes to conduct a portion of a staff meeting, the reading and preparation that we need to do, that it be count as like one of our adjunct duties. Adjunct duties are those extra professional responsibilities we are in charge of. And it took 2 months to get a response. And the district's response was basically that the work that we do doesn't warrant any real recognition in terms of our time. And to say that I was like flabbergasted, I actually said in the meeting that's one of the most preposterous things I've ever heard, would be an understatement. It's insulting. I said that. And insulting because it's a lot of work that goes into it. We have to present at every staff meeting. We have to go to meetings to prepare to present at the staff meetings. We have to be familiar with the material to be able to answer questions. We're presenting sensitive subject matter. And then for me, as a person of color, presenting this information to a room of people who I know not everyone buys into is, it's a whole nother layer that's added. So I left that meeting quite annoyed, and that happened. And then also, well, I'll just leave it at that. So here I am trying to get some fresh air and clear my mind. And then after I left, or after the meeting was over, I went to pick up my pants from Old Navy that I'll show you when I get home, as well as the other items that came from Ann Taylor Loft. Whoopee, come. So I don't know. At this point, I'm not sure if I'll do the equity thing next year because I feel so disrespected at the moment, but we shall see. Woofy. Woofy boy. Look up here. Woof. Woofy. Woof. We're back from our walk. There's that cute little face. And Woofy has, I don't know if I showed you, but his Christmas collar is gone. He's been wearing his new collar for about a week. Let him see. Woof. He stays in a bow tie. That's the little pattern. I don't know if you could tell, but it has this little plaid pattern with his little bow. His little bow tie right there. All right, so that's Woofy. But I'm back from the walk. I'm here to show you the things that I got from Old Navy and Ann Taylor Loft. From Old Navy, I haven't gotten things from them in a while, but I need some new pants, and I've been looking for like pants that look like, the lighting really is terrible right here, pants that look like they're work appropriate but are actually comfortable. And I think I originally went on the website for Old Navy because I wanted some Valentine's pajamas because, you know, I just felt like it would be fun and cute to have Valentine's pajamas, and then saw that they were having a 40% off of everything sale, and so I scrolled through pants just to see what they had, and they have these wide-legged work pants that look professional, but they are elastic in the waist. And all the work pants, or most of the work pants that I have, are very like like straight fitting, non-elastic. And I just, you know, you have days where you just want to be in some elastic. So I got a pair of them in black. They had them in at the Old Navy by my house. So these I was able to just pick up. So you can see these are wide leg. I'm going to attempt to wear these tomorrow. So I'll show you what they look like if it works out. But these are wide leg, like I said. It has an elastic waist. I'm not a good blogger in the sense that I never do try-ons on camera, just because it's, to me, I just feel like I would feel so awkward. And when I try on clothes, there's a lot of like shucking and jiving, moving around, turning this way, turning that way. And I don't think you want to see that on camera. So my goal is to wear these tomorrow with this sweatshirt that I got from Ann Taylor Loft. So Ann Taylor Loft was having a sale during winter break where all their tops, I can't remember what it was, but all the tops were like $20, I think, no matter what the price. So I don't even remember what the regular price of this was, and it's not on the price tag, but this was more than $20. It's just a little hoodie with a leather-like pocket. So I'm hoping to wear this tomorrow with these pants and my new tennis shoes that I think I showed you last week. And then the other thing that I got from Ann Taylor Loft that was also $20, and I want to say this was regularly like $80 or something, is this fuzzy top, like this like cozy teddy bear type top, just because I do need more warm clothes, and this looked nice and warm. And when I ordered it, I was really cold at the time, and I was like, you can't beat $20. It would also go with the black pants that I bought, as well as jeans. So that's what I did. That's what's up. So I'm gonna try these things on right now, not on camera. And if the pants work out in the sweatshirt, you'll see me in it tomorrow, and I'll be sure to share that with you. I don't know why my watch is doing Shazam right now. But that's really it. Let me get into some better light so I feel better about myself. If you enjoyed today's vlog, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, feel free to do so. Just keep it positive. And as always, I hope that you're well. And if you're not well, please be well. And I will see you in the next vlog. Bye.